everybody, welcome back. My name is Dr. Laurel Henderson. I'm so glad that you found my channel. If you haven't already subscribed, make sure to hit that subscribe button below and give me a big thumbs up, tell your friends all about it. Today is a very fun topic. Probably not fun for most people, but fun for me. We're gonna talk about fear of the dentist. There's a lot of people out there who hate seeing the dentist. I think probably most people, although they wouldn't say it to their dentist's face, think it to themselves and think it to their friends and family that they really don't want to go see the dentist. And what I'd like to do today is give you some tips and tricks to maybe alleviate some of those fears and have a more positive experience at the dental office. So this is a fun topic for me because I'm one of the few people that's actually never had fear of the dentist. It might be why I'm a dentist today. My mom has always been my dentist, and she's always been very gentle, although a little tough on me sometimes, as a good dentist should be. So I had to learn this really through seeing my own patients work through their own anxieties. And I will tell you, there is no shame in being afraid of the dentist. Plenty of people are. People who you think are these, typically very strong, tough people actually have this discomfort in the dental chair. So let's talk about why people are uncomfortable first. It really comes down to the fact that it's an actually very vulnerable situation that you put yourself in every time that you go to the dental office. You're expecting to get maybe some bad news. Maybe you haven't been, quite as on top of your brushing and flossing as you like to be. You're expecting maybe to have some treatment done, which may include things like an anesthetic injection, may include some of the vibration and some of the water from the drill, maybe a rubber dam, which is kind of like that framework that we use to keep the area clean. And sometimes it's costly too. And nobody likes to be told that they're not doing a good enough job, right? Nobody likes to be blamed and shamed. And certainly you don't want to pay big money for it. Also, when you're laid back in that position, all the way back in that dental chair, that's a really vulnerable position to be in. And the head and neck area is one of the most intricate areas of our body, the most sensitive areas of our body, because it's so connectedly tied to eating, drinking, respiration, cognition. This is an area that we really want to protect. So our inner self-conscious is saying, I don't like people in that area. This is a very important area to me. Please don't touch there. But of course, there are people who do have really positive experiences in the dental office. And so hopefully we can use some of those skills that other people have to help you have a better experience. So tip number one, we need to find the right dentist for you. So many people don't enjoy going to the dental office because they're going to a dentist that just doesn't fit their values, their expectations, and their goals for treatment. There are a lot of cool, new, interesting young dentists out there that are practicing the no shame, no blame, no pain dentistry, which I really, really enjoy. I'm gonna link one up here just for you to take a look at. This is a whole new generation that's saying, you know what, we're humans, we're not perfect. Heck, I don't like flossing either, and I'm, the person that gets to call themselves a doctor. We all try our best, and my goal when I see you is to say, okay, here's where you are today, I'll meet you there, and we'll make it a positive experience for you. If you're expecting to have the top of the line, the best of the best, preventative care, exquisite touch, lots of personal time and attention, having a really deep connection with your doctor, probably you're gonna have to find one of the more boutique or tailored or bespoke aesthetic practices. And you'll probably have a price tag that accompanies that. Whereas if your goals are more of, I'd like to maintain my health, maybe improve it a little bit, I don't really need all the bells and the whistles, I need somebody who cares about me, but I don't really have to see everybody, the same doctor every time. Well, then there's a different category of dentist for that, and that's typically more of your family dentist, your general dentist, that might not be quite as pricey, but definitely have the same kind of goals and expectations that you do. And I feel like that divide of, the ultra bespoke versus the more homemade type, that's actually a very important distinction because, depending on how much you want to pay, that's how much weight you're going to get, right? So The second thing you can do once you've identified someone who has the same values and goals and expectations as you is find someone who can maybe talk you down a little bit. There's a great first initial meeting that you can have with a dentist called a screening appointment. You don't have to get any treatment done. Basically, you have a conversation with your dentist and you say, this is what I want to get, this is what I'm hoping, what do you think about this? And at that screening appointment, you can see if you're a good match. And you can talk about your fears with your dentist and see if they're willing to work with you. So for someone who has high anxiety, some of the words that you might want to say during your screening appointment is, maybe I had a bad experience as a kid, or I'm really interested in having some sedation or some nitrous, or that's like the laughing gas, the nose piece that they put on. Some people say, I don't really trust dentists because I feel like they're always upselling me, right? That's a really common complaint. And by having that conversation during the screening appointment, you can see where your values and your goals and expectations meet. So you don't have to get anything done. It's kind of like a first date, right? If you agree at that screening appointment that you'd like to continue, well then that 15-minute appointment is over, and then you've already had a good first experience, a positive introduction with that dentist. So you're already primed to say, okay, well, I don't know if I'm gonna have any cavities or not, but I'm willing to have this person, this doctor, check me out and start this relationship together. So the next visit usually is the checkup visit or the data collection visit. And that's where you have x-rays taken and where the dentist kind of looks at the teeth surfaces and all of the head and neck, just to make sure that you're in good overall oral health. And that's again when you can talk about, what you'd like. If you would like your dentist to, be really quick with you and just get in and get out and get on with it, or if you want someone to take their time and go really slowly and be methodical, again, that's an opportunity for you to be heard and understood as the individual that you are. Right, so again, finding the right dentist for you, having a screening appointment, and then having this checkup or data collection appointment. The next step I would say is if you do want those special modifications for you, maybe you don't want to be leaned back as far, or maybe you're worried about there's going to be too much liquid in your mouth during like a cleaning. Say if there's a lot of water from the cavitron, that's like the dentist term for like an instrument that we use that cleans your teeth with a water spray in addition to some vibration. If you're worried about those things, that's when adjustments can be made. And perhaps, if you're really, really worried, you can talk to your dentist about some modifications, like getting some nitrous oxide, which is a very typical treatment, or, perhaps having some iatrosedation. So this is a fancy term that dentists learn in dental school, which is talking through your fears with your dentist. And just by talking it out and getting it out there before treatment is done, this is actual billable service, iatrosedation, meaning the doctor sedates you. Talking it through with your doctor actually treats you. You actually can have a better experience with your dentist. So what that would look like would be, your dentist would say, well, you mentioned that you had some difficulties with your dental treatment in the past. Could you explain those to me? And essentially by talking through what's happened and laying out your expectations for the future, you are evenly met on a playing field with each other. Because you had your parents maybe were always, holding the dentist over your head. Oh, if you're bad, I'm gonna bring you to the dentist and they're gonna pull out your teeth. That sort of stuff really scars people for their life, right? Or maybe, you had a lot of cavities when you were younger and you did have to get a tooth pulled maybe, and that was pretty traumatic for you at the time. You can talk that through and say, my goal is to not ever to have that happen again. And so, if you have some cavities, the dentist can be more conservative with you and say, okay, I understand that this is your goal, that you really want to be able to maintain your teeth and not go through more extensive procedures, and they can meet you there. So iatrosedation, nitrous oxygen sedation, and then there's also something called conscious sedation. Conscious sedation is when you have a more advanced form of anesthesia. It can be oral conscious sedation where you take like an anxiety drug beforehand, so you're just kind of more chilled out. Or you can do deeper kinds of sedation. And not all dentists will do that because there's of course more risks the more medications you add on. But if that's important to you, again, talk it through with your dentist. Finally, one of the best things that you can do is prepare yourself before the appointment. So that means prevention. We talk about this all the time, that, you know, the more you prevent oral diseases, the less pain you'll be in, the less time you'll be in the dental chair, the less money you're gonna spend, right? So that's a win-win-win for you, for sure. So that means trying to brush and floss as often as you can. If you hate flossing, you don't know anything about it, no one ever taught you, you don't know what you're doing, try once a week, okay? I wish everybody would do it after every single meal. That would be amazing. You know, you would never have to get, I mean, I can't say never, but probably wouldn't have to get that much stuff done. But most people don't do that. Frankly, I count myself amongst them. I'm not a very good flosser. I don't like flossing. But if you can make those small little changes in your life, you'll actually have a better feeling of preparedness when you walk into the dental office, that like, hey, like I did my homework, like it's not gonna be some crazy day today. Like I'm probably gonna get some good news rather than news I don't wanna hear, right? Second thing you can do is try to put yourself in a more calm mental space than you previously were when you went to the dental office. So if that means wearing really comfy clothes, like you're not jammies, but like sweatpants or something, making sure you're warm, because typically it's cold in dental offices, having an extra layer, or asking your dentist for an extra layer, that's okay too. Sometimes there's blankets that they can give you. Making sure you eat food beforehand in case you feel a little lightheaded, that actually helps quite a bit if you have some food in your stomach. Making sure that, you know, if you have some nice calming music you want to listen to, or maybe if you even want to bring a friend along to make you feel more comfortable. All of those are really helpful for decreasing anxiety in the dental office. Some people notice that, you know, there's extra stimuli in the dental office that makes them feel uncomfortable. So whether it's the light shining in their eyes or the sounds of all of the work being done, if those are things that you'd like to have modified, maybe with wearing a pair of sunglasses or bringing some earplugs with you, you can do that. And one of the best new, revolutions that I've seen recently in dental practices is having a code language with your dentist by using like sign language. So if you have someone working in your mouth and you want them to stop, put your hand up and say stop. Or if you say, I would like to rinse my mouth out or suction my mouth, one finger, we understand what that means. Or if I want to scratch my face, two little fingers, scratch, 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 scratch. Or maybe if it's, I just feel a little pinch versus like it feels bad, big pinch. That's a easy way to communicate with your dentist. There's a lot of things that make our jobs easier, but it's making you feel good that's the most important thing. So if you have other questions about relieving anxiety in the dental office, I'd love to answer them. But in general, the new generations of dentists right now are really trying to revolutionize what people think of the dentist. That we're people just like you. We're trying our very best to live our complicated lives in this crazy world. And we just want to help you feel better and maybe look better too if that's important to you. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you like this video. If you have questions, comments, concerns, make sure to write them down below. And I will see you next Tuesday with another exciting video. I think next week will be our very first Dr. Laurel's Oral Health Minute video, which I've been working on for a long time. That's a 1-minute special explaining an oral health disease. Our first disease that we're going to talk about is one of my favorites because I treat it all the time, and it's called TMD, temporomandibular disorders. All right, let me know if you think that's a great idea. I'll see you next week.